connecting to the real nerds is so easy. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. We have a Twitter account, @RealNerds. We also have Instagram. You can call us, 720-6nerds5. You want to email us? You can do that too, realnerds@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. I'm Giles.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Michelle.
And we're the Beyond the Trope podcast.
Every week, we delve into topics like pop culture, fiction writing, and other nerdy things.
We feature laid-back conversations, bad puns, and in-depth interviews with authors, comic creators, and more. Find our show at beyondthetrope.com.
My name is Henry Jarvis, and you're listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.
That's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Very good. Yeah. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic-Con 2018 and beyond, and also a proud member of the Denver Podcast Network. We are Denver's premier movie podcast. Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. I am joined every week, usually by
Brad
and
Zach
and
James,
and I'm Ryan.
Hi,
again.
Ryan. But you already knew that.
This week we saw Coco. So stay tuned to the end of the show where we will review Coco, see if you see it or not, play the trailer, spoil it, and we talk about movies. Movies we've been watching, movie news, movies that are coming out. I have a Scream Factory title coming out this week I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a good one. And then last night, my wife hates Katy Perry, but I went to her concert because I wanted to hear myself roar. It was actually interesting. I didn't know this. So tickets now through Altitude or AXS, whoever the Avalanche and Pepsi Center have their tickets through, they have a thing called Flash Seats, and Flash Seats are season ticket holders in Nuggets and Avalanche who buy tickets to concerts because they get dibs on them.
Sure.
And then they just sell them on a secondary market. And usually they're marked up like crazy, like $50, $60. And I waited forever to get the Katy Perry tickets. And so Sunday night, I looked on her website, and she had some of like the $45 seats left, like in the very last row of the Pepsi Center. I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I just clicked on the Flash Seats. It had row 6 in section GG, which is on the floor, right next to like her ramp that she comes out on.
Yeah.
For $70.
Man.
So I think someone bought them and just had to unload them.
Yeah.
Because when I went through the thing now, Brad knows, like it's like the Paramount. You swipe your credit card, and then they print off your ticket. Like the ticket price was $220.
Wow. Jeez.
And so I was literally like, I don't know, 10 feet from her. Wow. She has a great ass too. I was like, oh my god.
Okay.
But
and that's why Ryan went.
No, but also too, I've never been to like a real like pop show. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I usually go see like Bare Naked Ladies, Rod Stewart.
You're used to seeing people who are
rock
talented.
shows. You go to rock shows.
Yeah, where you're like, I'm here to see you perform your talent.
Exactly. Like,
rather than like going to a strip club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More about the music than the visuals.
Yeah.
Exactly. But like it's like so overwhelming because she had this huge like jumbotron that was in the shape of an eye. But but she would have like the background like for I don't know, I forget the song, but she had Pac-Man going.
What?
And like her dancers would be dressed up like the ghosts, and they'd run through.
Was she just like showing Guardians of the Galaxy 2 on the big screen?
She should have. But no, she like she's pretty fun, and she also did this thing where she so every like big set change, it went behind the magic jumbotron, and it came out, and there'd be this one was like the planets, and she came out sitting on Jupiter that was connected to like the ceiling of the Pepsi Center, and she went around the whole Pepsi Center playing guitar and singing, and I was like, God damn, she's like crazy.
Crazy.
That's she was fun.
That's called a death wish. How's her crowd work?
So it's awesome. So she like will get down and run through the crowd and sing, and she invited like this little girl up and asked her what her wish was, and her wish was to spend more time with her family.
Aww.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. Fuck this.
And Katy Perry was like, I'm going to pay you so your parents never have to work again.
Yeah, and she would. No, she's pretty fun. She would like run to one side of the stage and she'd like point at people in the audience, and she's like, "I see you," blah, blah, blah. And people would go. I mean, and I was actually surprised how
She's pointing at me.
I was actually surprised how diverse her crowd was. Because when I found out, I was like in basically like general admission. General admission is signed. It's like, fuck, I'm gonna be surrounded by like 13-year-old girls and gay dudes, and it really wasn't. And she, she's fun. She winked at me one time.
Aww.
Yeah, she's nice. And the lady I was
Oh,
talking
yeah,
to,
your shirt has boobs on it.
oh yeah, the lady I was talking to she's been at Pepsi Center, she said, for 20 years. Like, she's a security person, and she's saying that she's really nice. Steven Tyler's really nice.
Oh, cool.
Lady Gaga comes in early because she gets altitude sickness.
Aw.
Yeah, so this lady's like, wow, you're so vast of knowledge, and it was fun.
Cool.
I felt like a firework, guys.
Show them what you're worth.
I mean, I would go see her. If you like pop music and want to, 2.5 hours of her constantly performing. The only bummer is the opening act was called Purity Ring, and it's literally this.
Oh.
Do you know who they are?
No.
Okay, but I had the same thing. So she is literally a woman singing with a dude like on an iMac, like a DJ, and they kept on having technical difficulties, and she would like run away. She's like, I can't do this. So I ended up doing, 4 songs, and it was awful. But yeah, that's what I did. How was your trip to Wisconsin?
It was great. I stayed in this like ridiculously large house, that was insane. I mean, anyway, but yeah, we ate like stuffing and shit, and it was amazing.
How much cheese was there?
I made pies. There was so much fucking cheese. I'm not kidding. Cheese is actually not only like everywhere, but really good.
Yeah.
Like, I was at a bar, and I was going to go like
cheese
I
bar?
went. No, I was at a bar, like a brewery. I was at Lakefront Brewery in Milwaukee, and where I go to like get like some appetizers or whatever from like the little grill that they have, and there's a cooler next to the checkout with like smoked cheese sticks and cheese curds and cheese whips and like kinds of cheese you don't even get here. It's not even like
cheese whip.
So a cheese whip is kind of like a cheese stick, only it's smaller. It's about 50% in diameter, right? And then it's longer and it kind of curls a lot. So it almost looks like you squeezed cheese through like a really large spaghetti machine, And then they're usually kind of long, and then they come in just like a clump, so it kind of looks like a big cheese wig kind of thing. And they're amazing. I mean, it's just good cheese.
That's one of my favorite things about Brooks is she has her Wisconsin accent.
Yeah.
So every once in a while she's like, "Yeah, I'm from Wisconsin." It's like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome."
Oh, you should hear it when you're in Wisconsin because it gets thick, especially like around her family.
Comes
like,
out more.
After a while, I was starting to do it. Like, but yeah, no, like there's just cheese everywhere, and I it's the thing I'm gonna miss. Like coming back, I'm like, I thought I came from a place that appreciated food. I'm a guy who eats a lot of cheese, and yet I don't have access to smoked cheese sticks. Ryan, you and I. Both big fans of the cracked pepper cheese sticks that were discontinued by Kraft.
Thing ever.
It is still the best cheese stick I've ever eaten. Fuck you, Kraft, for discontinuing it. Or actually, maybe fuck you for even inventing it in the first place if you weren't going to let us have that for the rest of our lives. But smoked cheese sticks, also very good. Maybe second best in my book of cheese now. It was very good. I was excited. And good beer. Had a lot of good beer while I was there. Had some bad beer.
That's what they're known for.
Yeah.
Beer and cheese.
Yeah. Even had some shitty beer.
Beer
that was
cheese.
Like, okay. I had some beer cheese.
To the inventing machine.
The last day I was there, I had a hot dog that had macaroni and cheese on it and onion rings and sriracha. It was awesome. Anyway, so I ate well.
That's food, all right.
How was y'all's Thanksgivings? Zach?
That was good. I
Great.
chilled
Brad?
out with my nephew.
I know, nice fake picture of you sleeping next to your nephew. I saw.
No, it wasn't fake.
That was a selfie.
I was knocked out, and he was knocked out. So
So he won the fight?
yeah, he won the fight, but he was tired afterwards. So no, we fell asleep watching Jungle to Jungle, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
I would too.
But he's cute. I get to see him again this week, so
Cool.
yeah,
It's awesome being an uncle.
it is.
Yep. Brad, how was your Thanksgiving?
I had to go for like 2 days without any like project being worked on, so that was tough. It's like
Project withdrawals.
yeah, going through project withdrawals.
I have nothing to do.
I just had to sit around and interact with my family.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, out in the middle of nowhere.
Cool.
Yeah. Over the weekend, I shot a new video, so
Cool.
music video for Jean-Claude Van Damme's Man. That was
And
fun. And someone actually got uppercutted and busted their lip and got stitches. So
Wow.
Hey,
My goodness.
we call that being Bruce Campbell. Happened to him in Army of Darkness.
yeah,
Really?
That scar he has, like right here on his chin, he got that. And when he went to the hospital to get stitched up because he had all the cuts on his face from the makeup department, the doctor's like, which one's real? And then they stitched it up. He went back and finished his scene.
Funny.
he's a pro.
You can find that all on the Army of Darkness commentary on Scream Factory's 3-disc release of Army of Darkness.
Which I have a copy of from you, but not in the case.
I was right. You have it where it has a sync issue.
Yeah, but I'm gonna I'm gonna bite the bullet and get it because
Just get it.
because I want it for my shelf.
All cool people do.
Yeah,
Maybe the greatest movie of all time.
yeah. But his shoot was fun.
Oh yeah, Zach was there.
I got there early. I got there early to help him set up, but like I can't really stand on my leg too much without a crutch, so I brought both crutches. And when I had to be an extra in it, I used the crutches to be a rowdy spectator. But I ended up choosing to wear a big panda hat or head.
Dude,
so.
tell me you cut him from it.
I haven't edited it yet.
Thank you for coming down and being in crutches. Bad news. You didn't make the cut.
Oh, like the.
It just wasn't serving the story. We had
I'm like the crippled robot kid on Futurama. Oh, Tinny Tim. Yeah.
Hey, it's also Henry's birthday today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Henry. That's all.
I'll send you the Katy Perry birthday song.
Oh man, she has her own birthday song.
She does have a song called Birthday.
Happy birthday
It's like a disco song. It's fun.
from all our friends to you.
Did I tell you I watched a Katy Perry documentary?
No.
This is what we've been watching this week.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
That's called transition, boys.
Nicely done. It's called a segue, but sure.
Transition, segue, same thing. Jump cut.
J cut.
Ooh. That's how they say it on the streets.
Star wipe. No, that doesn't work.
Zach, what'd you watch this week besides Jungle to Jungle?
We watched Christmas Vacation with the new family. That was fun. Still a good film. What else can you say? I saw Jim and Andy, the Netflix documentary on Jim Carrey playing Andy Kaufman for the movie Man on the Moon.
Oh yeah, I've been watching that.
Yeah, it's amazing. But I will say, all I can say is that when you watch it, you're either gonna walk out of that film loving or hating Jim Carrey. Mm-hmm. There's no middle ground for that.
You either think he did a good job or not.
No. It's what is I don't even want to spoil it because like what is revealed in that documentary is very powerful, but at the same time like very disturbing. Mm-hmm. But it's a great documentary. It's one of the best making of a movie films I've ever seen. It was wonderful. I saw the Score documentary that you saw last week.
Yeah.
The music one?
Yeah.
That was really good. I love the beginning of it where they're getting that piano effect by hooking those wires up to an old piano and bringing it across an entire, I think it's like a 2-lane street.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then they had great interviews. The Danny Elfman bit was great. The John Williams one is good, but I know John Williams is great.
Right, exactly. The John Williams one is like, here's 20 minutes that we have to dedicate to John Williams because we have to, but other people have done it better, and you already know some of this, but still. But there's also some cool little behind-the-scenes footage that I don't think I had ever seen before.
Yeah, and then the Trent Reznor bit, it's small, but it's really good because that's an important section of the documentary that I was hoping they discussed, and thankfully they did.
Yeah, it's a decent overview of film score. It's not, if you're somebody like me who's been buying film scores since he was 6, most likely some stuff, but but it's entertaining for sure. So.
Right. So I also watched Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid again, which might be my. I mean, I love The Jerk, but I think Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid might be my favorite Steve Martin movie, directed by Carl Reiner. If anybody doesn't know what it is, it's a noir film with Steve Martin but in order to like, there's only like 4 actual like current actors in the film, and then the rest of the film is interspliced with interactions of old Hollywood actors from their movies. So they took clips from their movies and made it look like Steve Martin was talking to them within the context of the scene. It's really funny. Like the opening's great. Like where he's like, it's just another lazy day at the office. I had a hangover and I resorted to reading old newspapers. Right. Or like I hadn't seen a body on her since the case of the mutilated big-breasted woman. Like it's so fucking funny. I love Carl Reiner's role in it, where he's the butler, but he has a secret, guys. And it's beautifully shot. Like Reiner's a kick-ass director. Like he knows how to what's amazing is like the old footage meshes pretty well with the footage he shoots in the 80s. Unless it's like a really older film where they didn't really clean anything up. So I'd check out That Men Don't Wear Plaid if you hadn't seen it. It's really good. Cool. And then the last thing that I saw this week, James.
What?
The Gangster's back. Because I saw XXX, The Return of Xander Cage.
Fuck yeah!
So, quick backstory. I got a copy of it for $1.74 on Blu-ray at work because somebody...
No, you underpaid, sir.
Wait.
I expect you to send Vin Diesel at least $10.25.
I think I might be sending him like I'm trying to figure out the exact math. I think it's like what $11.25 just to max it out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
whatever the price of a movie ticket minus $1.70.
Okay, so I had a lot of fun with this film. It's not a good film.
Oh no,
it's
a fucking amazing film.
It's the most. It's probably one of the most entertaining. Stupid.
Did that come out this year?
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
In January, which is why I was surprised that it got donated to my work. But it's. I liked. You know what? I told you about this in the car, and I stand by it. I don't like.
You just broke the illusion that we hadn't already talked about this some. No, we were doing great.
I know.
Everybody home was like,
"What?" But I'm trying to remember my point. Was just like, I don't like Vin Diesel in the Fast and Furious movies.
He's very
and
gloomy.
I finally figured out why. He's so depressed. He looks like he's either having an irritating shit or he's about to cry for a stupid reason.
Yeah.
In XXX, in The Return of Xander Cage, he's having so much fun that I was like, you know what? You may be unbearable as fuck sometimes, but I love that you're having fun giving yourself a big old hand job on the big screen that cost $85 million.
Can we just talk about that first 10 minutes where he saves the internet, or where he saves cable for a small village?
No, he hacks cable, and he gives free soccer to children because they can't pay a cable bill.
But it's this really fun, like, ridiculous action scene where he's skiing through the jungle, and then he skateboards down that hill, and he's like, there's the old guy, and he's like thumbs up in people, and people are waving at him, and he's having a great time. You're like, this is awesome.
But how did this get made? Point out, it's not him skateboarding. Let's be
no,
honest.
I don't give a shit. It's Xander Cage skateboarding.
They mapped his face.
It is not Vin Diesel, but it is Xander Cage.
But like, so it's and it tries to be self-aware half the time, and I'm just like, not impressed by that, but like I don't really care at the same time. Like I'm too wrapped up in the stupidity of it. But again, like it's fun stupid. It's not unbearable. Like,
it's very.
I don't
bearable.
think Ryan would like it, but unless he got it for free on Netflix or something.
If you put yourself in the mindset of I'm gonna watch a Resident Evil film, or even to the point of I'm gonna watch, I would almost say it is almost fun like a Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. It's not quite as good. Like, that movie knows what it is more than this one does. But this one is also very... How about that point? Spoilers for Xander Cage, XXX, The Return of
that alert for this
more
movie.
X's. But how about that part where Ice-T shows up with a grenade launcher? Ice Cube shows up. Ice-T would be good too. Ice Cube shows up with a grenade launcher on a second story. Clearly, probably cut in.
Oh, that was the weirdest one-liner ever. Rock, paper, grenade launcher.
Oh my God! How about the fact that he has one of XXX's henchmen is just a DJ. That's his superpower is. He plays dope music.
I mean, he's also got a stunt driver, but all he's good at is crashing and wearing his rugby mouth guard.
Yeah.
Ruby Rose is the only capable person on that team.
And she doesn't do much.
Oh, I love her.
She does have that sniper.
There's a great
scene,
bit, like when we introduce her character, she you think she's gonna snipe a tiger or a lion in the safari, but instead she turns to these 3 poachers, 2 men and 1 woman. They all look like affluent white people, and she just hunts them down. And it's a message, guys: don't poach animals.
Yeah. Well, because Triple X is a man with heart.
Yeah.
He has a mission to save the world.
So
from people.
It's oh god,
it's terrible.
I'm glad I have it, because if I really need to watch something that dumb again, I will easily pop it on. But I mean, it was entertaining. I will admit, you were right, but I'm kind of glad I didn't waste my time carving out a moment in my life to see it in the theater.
But
I'm glad I just was able to watch it when I wanted to.
Is the last action scene in the plane where they're flying around, is that worth having seen?
Up until the explosion at the end, yes.
Which is just a bad CG, bad composite. But yes, that
it's
whole
whole
0G fight where Donnie Yen is jumping around and shooting people or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Oh, and Tony Jaa's fun in this film too. And
yes.
I haven't watched a Tony Jaa film in a while, so maybe I want to watch some.
He's ridiculous.
Ong Bak and stuff. So
yeah.
But, I mean, if you've got the same circumstances I did, where it's $1.74,
or it's $12,
go pick it up.
Yeah.
But so that's all I watched this week.
Cool. Good job.
Yeah.
Cool. Brad?
Not a lot this week. I've been playing Super Mario Odyssey, which...
Nothing wrong with that.
Some of those moons are a pain in the ass.
Fucking A, they are.
I only just, a couple days ago, found out, the map screen that says what the, moon... The ones you have the chance of getting are.
Yeah.
I was just blindly going and then trying to figure out, how do you know how many... usually they have a title that describes what... how you're supposed to do it, and then...
Well, you can pay Captain Toad, too. He'll tell you where some more are.
Yeah, but I'm at a point, too, where he's
like,
I can't give you any more hints, and there's still, 20 of them to figure out. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've got pretty good at... so the sand level, I think there's something like 58 in it, and I would just run around, and, I'm like, oh, I haven't been over there, and I just, jump up there, and, oh, there's a moon over there.
Yeah. What's funny is, every boss gives you, 3 moons, and what you very quickly realize is, the boss moons don't matter. You need them, but there's so many more moons in the world that 3 moons from a boss
I think
is
880
nothing.
is what I heard.
Yeah. I'm a little past 400 now.
I trip over a moon everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I'm just constantly finding moons.
Yeah.
I finished the Punisher series.
Oh, cool.
Might be 3 episodes too long, and Frank Castle gets shot and stabbed in every episode.
Yeah.
So it's a wonder he has any blood left. But it's pretty awesome.
He lives
still.
dangerously.
Cool.
And he got a blood bank in his basement.
Yeah. So.
Sweet. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's
I keep
brutal.
on meaning to. Fuck.
Yeah.
I keep on forgetting it's out. There's also this new Western called Godless I really want to see.
Yes,
on
me
Netflix.
too.
My dad and I started watching it. It's fun.
Yeah. Check out the Punisher. It's a little repetitive because, like I said, he's constantly...
He just keeps punishing people?
Well, he punishes people, but he also, takes a ton of abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, there's set Jigsaw, the villain from Punisher Warzone. They set him up, and it's pretty badass. He's fighting this, the main villain, which I don't want to spoil who it is, but they're fighting on this, with the horses that spins around carousel.
Yeah.
The mirrors on the carousel, he pushes, he's pretty much defeated the villain, and he pushes him into the mirror, and it breaks, and he just picks up the guy's face and just rakes his face across the broken glass and everything, and then flips him over, and then does it again to the other side, and then by the end of the episode, he's got the bandages on. You're like, that guy's gonna be Jigsaw.
Awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Nice.
What else I watch?
Except he probably won't, because there won't be any more of those shows. It's
Yeah, it'll be on the Disney.
It'll be on the
Network.
Disney one. Disney Direct.
I don't know. It might be too violent for the Disney Network.
Well, yeah. What I'm curious about is whether or not Disney is going to are they just going to reboot those shows?
Please don't.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Or just reboot the bad ones. Reboot Iron Fist, Defenders, and Luke Cage, and then don't reboot the other ones. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I lost track of what else I watched. I know over Thanksgiving I rewatched the first episode of Breaking Bad, and I was blown away how much story is crammed into that one episode. It feels like a 2-hour movie in just 45 minutes, I think. 50 minutes. Pretty impressive.
Cool.
Shit, what was the main thing? I forgot to write it down.
I don't know. Usually you have a whole phone list.
Oh, I watched the Jim and Andy thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Which yeah, it's just the only interview is Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Spliced with B-roll of his antics on set for Man on the Moon.
Antics is a good word for it.
Yeah, of forcing everyone to refer to him as Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
I thought that method acting was weird. Like how Daniel Day-Lewis does it.
Like
well, this gives you a little peek behind the curtain on that one.
Like I kind of respect it, like the dedication, but at the same time, like I feel like it's times it's going too far.
Yeah,
like,
I mean it gets obnoxious.
Oh yeah, because there's times where he's like genuinely trying to start fights with people backstage, and you're like, okay, you're now detrimental to the film.
Yeah, the Jerry Lawler stuff is.
Yeah, the Jerry Lawler stuff is
too far. Yeah, getting full on slapped and then basically recreating the actual event from years and years ago.
And what's amazing is this footage still exists because he's held it in his own estate, but like Universal wouldn't release it for the longest time because they didn't want him
Look
make
like an
Jim.
asshole.
Yeah, they didn't want Jim Carrey to be looked at as an asshole. So
yeah, and then it's just weird hearing him talk about his. I don't know. He's like at a place where he's in this existential realm of his own consciousness. And,
yeah, he's weird.
He's the Zen guy.
It's interesting to see like him literally at that time in character talking about Jim Carrey, and you're like, this is weird, you know. But it's really interesting. I'm excited to finish it. I sort of got tired halfway through and stopped watching it, but I'll probably finish it tonight.
I thought it was interesting, but it wasn't like compelling.
Yeah,
because again, it's just like here's a bunch of stuff that happened, and here's the footage that went along with it, and that's it.
It's kind of
look
consumable.
how weird it is. Yeah,
I think we watched the movie differently because I couldn't stop watching.
I stopped at 1.2 and got back on.
I was like, I want to know how far this fucking goes.
That's it for me.
Cool, James.
Just a couple of things. I got a chance to watch The House, which is the Will Ferrell, Amy Poehler movie where
it's fun.
They make a casino. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I love that Jeremy Renner's in it for like 2 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say that was one of the surprises that I always think it's weird when you're going to have a cool cameo like that, and then you sort of spoil it for the audience by showing them a picture of the guy earlier on.
Well,
like there's like a news clipping where it's like, this guy's the bad guy, and you're like, oh, that's Jeremy Renner on a newspaper.
So I got it at Best Buy because it's $7.99 a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
and he's like on the back cover.
Oh, what?
So I was like, oh, he's like the bad guy in it, and then he doesn't show up till.
Did it not do very well? Were they like trying to? I don't know.
I think like 30 million or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wait, that's really bad.
Yeah. How's Mantzoukas in the film?
He's awesome.
Oh, Jason Mantzoukas is the reason to watch it.
Nice.
Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler are tolerable. Like they're funny, but they're not like the reason you're watching it. The truth is, you're watching it hoping Jason Mantzoukas will show up again. Like, it's bizarre. A similar scene in like, Horrible Bosses would make me just break out laughing, whereas here I'm like, well, it's fine. The scene with like the first time where they're like yelling at each other, where they're trying to figure out, they catch a guy who's counting cards in their new casino, and so they're like, we gotta intimidate this guy and like maybe rough him up some so that people know they can't do this to us. And so they take him in there, and it just keeps escalating because they don't actually know what to do until they like accidentally chop his finger off. And it's funny, but for some reason, like I don't know, I just ended up not finding it as hilarious as I feel like that exact same
in the trailer,
character.
So.
Yeah, but I just feel like that's true. Yeah, but
it's funny when he goes around being the butcher, though.
That part, yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, it's great. It's definitely worth checking out. I can kind of see why it sort of flew under the radar. It's definitely not like a comedic gem.
Yeah,
it's just sort of a like by numbers. Because even when they try to make it like a heartfelt, like, oh, they did it for their kids, they're like, yeah, okay, we're moving on. This is all about the laughs and the Jason Mantzoukas. The whole thing with the safes, where like every time he just hits the wall and the whole painting falls off the wall, is pretty good. And then I've been watching. I'm about halfway through a show on Netflix called American Vandal.
That's ridiculous.
Have you been watching it?
I'm about halfway through too.
Okay, so did you start it not knowing what it was?
No, I knew what it was because I remember watching a trailer for it and thought it was really funny.
So I started it not knowing what it was. I just like saw it and was like, hey, that looks like the kinds of things I like. I'll start this. And so it took about 5 minutes before I was like, oh, this is a joke. And so the only reason I keep watching it is I'm waiting for the joke to not be funny anymore.
It's so
like
for those who don't know, it's a take on Netflix's. So they're really popular making a murderer.
It's a true crime.
The Keepers, true
or even
crime.
like Serial, or like even the graphic design and the way they talk and the way they approach like a crime is all that same sort of true crime methodology.
But it's about a like the class clown who. He's accused of spray painting 27 dicks on cars in a parking lot.
Yeah,
and so
the teacher parking lot.
So they keep on interviewing everyone in the school, and there's the witness who saw him do it. They think he's lying about getting a hand job by one of the girls at summer camp, and it's really ridiculous.
It's taking all that high school drama and layering it on top of that archetype of a show, and so it's like it's supposed to be shot and directed by like. One of the kids who's in the 80 video club sort of thing. It's actually pretty funny. I'm thoroughly enjoying my way through it. I watch like 1 or 2 every couple days, so I'll probably be done in a week or 2. It's ridiculous. I just noticed that the final episode is called Climax, so there you go.
To the point.
Yeah. Anyway, it's really good. So, very last thing was I got a chance to watch The Book of Henry, which is the Colin Trevorrow film from this year.
Henry Jarvis's biopic?
Henry, no. Well, at least let's hope not. So, for anybody who doesn't know, this is the, I don't know, I would almost want to say universally critically panned film from this year that it's about a boy who is... I'll give you like their pitch on the movie, which is it's about a boy who is like a wicked smart genius, and sort of manages his mom's finances, and he just really has everything together, and he sees all these clues everywhere, and he's very smart. His mom is Naomi Watts, and then he suddenly gets he starts noticing that the next door neighbor girl is getting abused by her stepfather. So he's trying to figure out what does he have to do to make this stop, and right about then he suddenly gets a brain tumor and dies, and then he leaves a book for his mom explaining to his mom how she should go about murdering their next door neighbor to save this little girl from abuse. Henry's
Did he write and direct it?
No, the writer is Greg Hurwitz. Which is a name I remember, but we'll look up here in a second. Oh man,
The Perfect Crime.
Greg Hurwitz did the TV show V, and that's it. So never mind. There's a few problems. One, Henry's obnoxious. He's constantly correcting people in a way that's supposed to make you feel like, oh man, he's just so wicked smart. He's really just an asshole. You don't like Henry. You're kind of glad when he dies. His brother's great. His brother's adorable. He's this regular little kid. He's played by the kid from The Room. So his performance is amazing. So when Henry dies, his brother is really sad.
Wait, The Room or Room?
Danny?
Sorry. No. Well, no. Sorry. He's played Jacob Tremblay, who is the kid from Room with Brie Larson.
There you go.
My apologies.
Oh, hi, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
Oh, we go to go kill our neighbor.
Yeah. So then he watches Tommy.
Oh, no, Danny died.
Yeah. No, Henry does. Anyway.
Hi, Henry.
So he's really great. That kid is adorable, and he's trying to get over his brother's death.
Oh,
his
die,
mom,
Henry.
His mom, nowhere.
I'm sorry. Oh, die, Henry.
It's all gone now.
Anyway, he's trying to get over his brother's death.
Yeah, he's trying to get over his brother's death. His mom, nowhere to be seen because she's buying sniper rifles and high caliber ammo in order to kill the dude from Breaking Bad, the cop from Breaking Bad.
Hank.
Hank, yeah. So, this movie is a tonal disaster. I saw somebody who made the argument that this movie would be better if it was directed by Wes Anderson, and I 100% agree with it, because this film has that level of surrealist whimsy that you get in a Wes Anderson movie, where the kids are all smarter than the adults, and there's silly plot lines, and there's these things where people are trying to do wacky things, and get their own weird justice, and it's okay. or there's like silly violence. But this will like literally. There's a scene like the climax of the movie takes place sort of during a talent show at the school. Where the little boy, who's the only decent character in the whole film, is going to do a magic trick to try and bring his brother back to life, which actually does pay off and is a good scene. Like that sequence starts with like this other random kid that you saw once earlier in the movie. He like comes out and does this full random like freestyle rap, and it's super awkward and like supposed to be cute and funny, as if we were watching About a Boy. And then the kid like, reaches his mic out and drops the mic because he thinks he did such a great job, and everybody cheers. And you cut from that to Hank from Breaking Bad, the guy who's been raping his daughter, like sneaking out a door, and Naomi Watts like setting up her sniper rifle. And you're like, what the fuck movie is this? Like, I don't know I don't agree with what she's doing. Like, you also don't understand why, like, the whole movie relies on this idea that this guy's brother is like in charge of the internal whatever that is supposed to look into this. And so, Henry and now Henry's mom, no matter how many times they go to the government, they can't get anybody to look into this guy. Like, none of it seems plausible. It's a movie that probably seemed okay on paper, and then in execution you get this like very bizarre movie that is way too self-serious and doesn't make any sense. It's very bizarre. It's not necessarily the worst movie I've seen this year. I would say I liked Life a lot less. Like, Life is way less watchable than this. This is just like silly and at times a little offensive. But anyway, yeah, that's what I've watched this week. Don't see Book of Henry.
See Oh Die Denny.
Yeah.
I only watched a few things this week too. I watched the Katy Perry documentary, Part of Me. Oh. It's interesting because I always like documentaries that are revealing to someone, and this was actually filmed while she and
this is an older one, right?
Yeah. What's so funny?
This went to theaters.
Nothing. Never mind.
It was filmed while she was just about midway through her marriage with Russell Brand, and towards the end of the tour, they're getting a divorce.
Oh.
And so she's pretty fun, and she's pretty like goofy. And then, as about 3/4 through the movie, it takes a really serious turn where he texts her like a picture of a McDonald's that has their anniversary on it, and he says in the text that we should name our firstborn Ronald. And then she has this moment where she's like, "I'm not ready to have kids," look on her face, because she literally just blew up at that point. Because I think like that, I forget. So her first album was like with I Kissed a Girl, which was a big hit. Mm-hmm. But then her second one had 5 #1 singles on it, and that's the tour that they're following.
Sure.
And so she kind of texts like she doesn't really spun. She kind of says she hasn't thought about kids. And you can tell she's not ready at all. And then they cut to, so she has these meet and greets with people, and then they have this one that is about 10 minutes later. She's like lying on a chair, and they're like, "Hey, you want to go see your fans, or do you want us to cancel it?" And she's like, No, I'll go see them. I need to. And she's all like crying. She gets up, puts on her stuff, goes out there, is all nice to her fans, comes back, and then her next show I think was in Brazil, and there's like a text message like divorce, like is really like cold-blooded, and she's like bawling she's like, obviously she's devastated. She's lying on her in her dressing room.
Wait, like Russell?
Yeah.
Sent
and so she's crying, and she's obviously inconsolable, and her managers are coming. It's like, "Are we calling off the show? What are you doing?" They said, "It's up to you. We understand if you don't want to do this show." And her people are like, "We've never seen her cry before." And and it's like about 3 or 4 minutes of this really awkwardness where her people are there wondering if they should cancel the show. She's crying, and it's just like the camera's just stuck on her. Mm-hmm. And then she looks at her makeup person. She says, "Let's go." And so they start putting makeup on her, and she's still crying. She's like going out to the stage where she gets lifted up, and she like can't walk. She's like devastated, and she stands up on the platform that brings her up, and they're like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And she's still like bawling her eyes out, and then she like snaps, and she like gets in a pose, and then she goes up there and starts performing. And cool. she does a song that's called "The One That Got Away," and she goes out there and she starts singing. She just starts crying. It's pretty like moving stuff. You're like, oh, that's pretty hardcore. The rest of the documentary is whatever, but
yeah,
I remember this being in the theater. Like when I was still working there.
I think it made like $30 million. It's pretty good for a concert film.
I remember seeing like the first 15 minutes of this because like it talks about her being like a church.
So her dad is a really big minister, like a traveling minister. I mean, I don't know anything about her.
Yeah.
The only thing is like they try to make it like she struggled through life, and it was like 5 years of living in LA before she hit it big. I'm like, that's really not struggling. Like
that's expedited.
Yeah, like it's like 5 years of being on the Warped Tour, opening for someone, and then she hit it big.
We've been doing this podcast for 6 years.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Yep.
The needle hasn't really moved.
Here we come.
So it's fun. If you're a fan of hers, it's good. I don't know if you're not a fan of hers, if you'll like it. I mean, if you like the revealing stuff, it's not too much. It's more of her performing, and
I appreciate a good story.
Yeah, so I mean, it's fascinating. If you want, you can borrow it. I got it at Amazon warehouse deals for $1.79 or something.
There you go.
And it came in, and like the case was all fucked up. I'm like, oh, just don't let the disc be scratched, and the disc was fine. So, also too, I was fucking around on Amazon, and one of my favorite horror remakes is Night of the Living Dead by Tom Savini. And it was on Twilight Time, and they only made 3,000 of them because Twilight Time is really like limited, and it sold out before the pre-orders were even done. And there was a big brouhaha because they recolor timed it and they added a blue tint to it, and which was supposedly approved by Savini, but people were up in arms, like you really like you through the whole movie a blue tint. So really kind of weird.
If I remember correctly, that's not how that film should
No,
look.
not at all. And
it's been a while since I've seen the Savini one. So
yeah, and I'll talk about it in a second. So I was just messing around on Amazon, and there's an Australian Blu-ray company called Umbrella, and they had the rights to it. And I was just like, oh, I mean, I just always read them like there's no way it's going to work. And then I read that it was all regions, so it was like $15, and I got it. And so this one's not been color corrected, and it also has new special features on it. So it's a really great Blu-ray. I actually think it's a great movie because it's written by Romero, and Romero picked Savini to direct it. So it starts pretty much the same, except it's a little more intense, and then it changes the character of Barbara from like comatose to she's kind of like an action hero. And so she's like the tough one. Her and Ben.
Right.
Like Ben is still a great character played by the great Tony
But
Todd.
she gets a lot more to do.
Exactly.
I'm remembering now.
Yeah, so it's pretty great. I tell everybody, if you want to see a really good zombie movie that's kind of under the radar, that's a great one to see because it hits pretty much the same beats but twists them just enough. And so the special features, they have an interview with that actress, which I've never seen her do anything else, but she's actually been around a while, and she's in a couple things that I didn't know she was in. She's in Army of Darkness. She's the she-bitch when he fights her. But anyways, so when they were doing the interview with her, they're showing scenes from the movie that had the blue tint to it, and it is pretty jarring. I'm like, whoa. Like even like at the beginning of the film, it takes place during the day, and when there's a blue like hue to it, it looks really weird. So I can see why people are up in arms. So yeah, you can get it on Amazon. It's like $15, and it's worth it if you're interested in the movie. I say check it out.
Silly little sideline on that though. When I was at the library when I was a kid looking for Night of the Living Dead movies, I was trying to find that one and accidentally picked up Return of the Living Dead.
Hey, that's a great movie too.
It was a great mistake, but
You did fine.
You did fine. I also watched The Philadelphia Story. I don't know if anybody's seen that. That's a great movie. It's the first time I've ever seen it.
Jimmy Stewart.
So Barnes & Noble on Black Friday sent out an extra 25% off coupon. So I went to the Barnes & Noble in Littleton, and I picked it up. And so the Criterion's already 50% off. I'm like, there's no way they're going to let me do this. Because I also have I use my mother-in-law's membership. So I'm getting it for 85% off. So I'm like, I'm just going to put it up. I'm not going to say anything. So I said, hey, I have a thing, and I have this coupon. I'm like, oh, okay. It cost me $9. And I was like, okay, yeah. And I'm like taking, like, she's not going to say anything. She's not going to say anything. And so I left, and I watched it. And If you don't know, a Philadelphia Story is kind of it's a look at the life of extremely rich people, and it's a really quick movie. Sometimes you don't pick up the comedy. I actually watched it twice because the dialogue is so quick and snappy, and it's amazing. And times have changed so much. It's 1939, 1940.
I think the 38, 39.
Yeah. So in it, Jimmy Stewart plays a newspaperman, and he's with a photographer. And Audrey Hepburn is a spoiled
Katharine Hepburn.
Yep. Thank you. Katharine Hepburn is the spoiled rich girl, and Cary Grant is her ex-boyfriend, and they're supposed to get married. And on the day they get married, so the film opens with him pushing her on the face and like threatening to punch her. And there's a running joke with her little sisters, like, you punched her? What was that like? And like, she deserved it because she's such a bitch. I'm like, wow, times have really changed.
Because she's a dizzy dame, that's why.
Yeah, and Cary Grant's amazing in it.
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart, who won his only Oscar for that film, is awesome in it. And I love both him and Cary Grant have a really cool career trajectory, where they star in these like kind of romantic comedies in the 30s and 40s, and then they both morph into like Hitchcock's guys.
Yeah.
And they go on to be in like Vertigo and Rear Window and things like that, which are great films.
Fun little thing about Philadelphia Story, it's loosely based officially on Katharine Hepburn's family life when she was living in Connecticut with her family. I'll tell you about it more off mic, but like it's just. She got the rights. She did it on Broadway.
Yeah,
and then she got the rights.
I watched a documentary on it. It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, she got the rights to that story so that Louis B. Mayer would have no choice but to work with her because she was box office poison at the time.
It's a really interesting documentary because she had 3 box office failures in a row, and 2 of the movies are pretty well received. Bringing Up Baby, I think, is one of them.
Yeah, the one with the leopard, yeah.
Yeah, and I forget the other 2. But then, they labeled her as box office poison. No one wanted her, so she bought the rights. She said, "I'm going to star in it, and these 2 guys are going to star with me," and it worked really well.
Yep.
And
she wanted Spencer Tracy initially, but she didn't get him.
Yep.
Until the next one, guys.
The next one. And I got that one too a couple weeks ago. One of the year.
Yeah. That's a good one too.
Then the last thing I watched is I went to I go to my comic store, and I've been collecting Satana comics. And Andrew pulled out this one comic for me. It's called Sledgehammer. I'm like, what the fuck is Sledgehammer? And in the corner, it's like, guest starring Satana? ? And it's based on a TV show. And it's this like TV show that's kind of like The Naked Gun, where it's like slapstick comedy taking place in the 80s, and it plays on all the like. It's basically of Dirty Harry. So Sledgehammer is this investigator who solves all his problems with violence. And so, like, he has
McGarnacle.
Yeah, so he has a bumper sticker on the back of his car that says "I heart violence." And I mean, just to show you how loony the show is, it's the pilot episode, and he's going because he's suspended, and he's like shooting his gun in his apartment, and everyone's like, "Shut up down there!" And he's shooting his gun. And so,
there's a comic book.
So there's a comic book based on the TV show. And so the TV show I watched because I got the comic book.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I didn't get that
So you
clear.
found it on Amazon?
So yes, actually Walmart for $10, the complete series.
Oh.
Image DVD, so they're pretty great. But anyways, so I think it's the pilot, maybe the second episode. He's driving to work, and there's a sniper on top of a building. And so the other cops are like huddled behind, and he pulls up in his car. And he's like, "I got this." He opens up his trunk and grabs a bazooka and walks up and shoots the whole building down instead of just killing the guy. And he's like, "You're welcome." And it's stupid shit like that through every episode. And if you like Dirty Harry and things like that, it's a pretty clever take on it.
Oh shit, I'm on board, guys.
Yeah. Like I said, I only got it because of the comic book, and the comic book's tagline is "The show that won't die," because it's really well received, but they didn't think it was going to be there'd be a second season. I was just reading about it, and so they made a second season. There's only 2.
Was it American TV or?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's on ABC from I think 84 to 86. And even like the chief is like the black guy who always yells at everybody. It's like it reminded me of a Last Action Hero because he'd be Sledgehammer, and he'd have to go into his office, and it's funny. And Sledgehammer talks to his gun, so he'll be like, It's like, yeah, we'll get him, baby. Who are you talking to, Sledgehammer? No one. It's really stupid, but it's pretty amazing.
Love it. I love this.
Yeah, and I ended up I just happened to see it at Walmart, but I remember watching it. There's a trailer on IMDb, and he walks in, and the lady asks, "Did you have fun on your fishing trip?" He's like, "Yeah, I caught a lot of them." He holds up the fish, and they all have bullet holes in them. So he just went and shot. It's like so dumb, but it's amazing, and that's what I watched this week.
So a couple weeks ago, you said you watched Mr. Bean, but you never.
Oh, that's
followed
right.
up on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So I watched like 10. Is there 10 episodes of it? I think it's 10.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like it's not like super laugh out loud funny, but it's a show that's continuously entertaining, and it's fun. It's like you can watch on Amazon Prime because it's one of those shows I didn't know if I would like, but I know you always talk so highly about it. Says, you know what, it's for free. I might as well just download it and watch it. And I watched I think 5 episodes in one day because I downloaded and I went to bed. I was like, I'll just put on the pilot and watch it, and I'm like, meh.
they're all like just smart comedy of errors type.
Yeah, exactly.
Skits. Like one of the most brilliant ones is the one that starts off. He like decides to go to the beach or something, and so he starts at the top of this staircase, and then he has to like go down this long staircase that takes a while, and then he finally gets to the bottom, and he I think he expects to like swim alone, but then there's this other guy in a lawn chair like right next to the shore.
What is? Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Like chilling out, and then he hasn't changed into his bathing suit yet, so he's constantly trying to find a way to like change without like exposing himself.
Yeah,
and then like he goes through this whole ordeal only to finally like finish changing, and then the guy in the lawn chair stands up, and it turns out he's blind.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then walks away.
What I love about that show too is Rowan Atkinson's such like a great physical comedian. Is he doesn't even need to say anything, and he conveys with his actions and his face everything that needs to be said in the skits. Yeah, I think each episode's like 26 minutes or so, but it's just like broken up to him just being goofy.
Another great one is where he's like waiting at the doctor's office or something, I think, and then he gets like he has to take a number. And then he keeps trying to like sabotage everyone and like switch out his ticket number with other people and like move ahead in the line.
Yeah, they're hard to explain, but they're really funny and clever. But yeah, it's one of those things where you always talked about. It's like that looks stupid, but then you watch it and you're like, this is pretty funny.
Yeah,
like I say, you don't like laugh like crazy funny, but the whole time you're entertained and like laughing.
There's a smile on your face.
Yeah, there's a smile on your face. So it's on Amazon Prime the first season. I don't know if there was more than that. I don't know. I think that's the only one that's available on Prime. Oh, I guess I just quickly mention too. I'm also watching Veep right now, which is amazing.
Really?
Yeah, it basically takes what you think about like Washington. Like they make a big deal out of what frozen yogurt flavor she's going to try, and there's a column like eat this kind or eat this kind, and she's always getting in trouble. She called the oil companies like retards, and so then the next day she has to have a meeting with like the Americans with Disabilities people, and so he's in her office and she comes out, she's like, oh yeah, you're having a bad day? Well, I'm busy talking to this fucktard in here, and it's just really funny and how they blow everything. I just watched an episode where her and the first lady having a like a spat over who looks better. It just reminds you of like stupid politics and how dumb it is. And there's like the dude who works in the White House who thinks he's better than everybody else. It's really funny.
Cool.
It's on Amazon Prime too. But yeah, Mr. Bean's great. If you should check it out. I'll probably end up getting it. Do they even make the Blu-rays or DVDs?
No, there's a DVD collector set. There's even an animated series which I've never seen.
Huh? Because it's fun. But Amazon Prime and Netflix, they take things off all the time, so I don't know how long it'll be on there. Yeah, Brad, what's happening around town?
Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver.
This Sunday is December 3rd. Yeah. Is the Colorado Mile High Mocks and Docs Festival at the Bug Theater. There's going to be a bunch of mockumentaries and documentaries, so come check that out.
Cool.
At probably 7 or 8. No, wait, it's an all-day thing. It's like noon to...
No, wait, it's all day.
I was unprepared for this.
It's whenever Alex wants to switch back on the power.
It's a bunch of different blocks, so you can come from like 12 to 2 probably, then probably like 4 to 6.
Just show up at the Buck Theater and you'll be good to go.
11:30, and then you'll know everything.
Check online.
Yep.
For details.
And then it's
For all we know, Brett has the date wrong.
Yeah, it's Akira.
Is the Midnight at the Esquire this week, and that should be it.
What's happening on the news spectrum of things, James?
It's real news.
Rance Howard died today at 89 years old, so
Today
good for
or
him.
yesterday?
Yeah. Is it today?
It was actually Saturday.
You're right. It was Sunday evening, yeah. Well, no one knows when we recorded this, so it was today.
Yeah.
It was just now.
Right here in front of us.
We're the first people to know.
Yeah, Ron Howard called us?
Yeah. But we're the last people to tell you.
I'm
hey, real
right
nerds.
now.
Hot scoop.
Just want to let you know.
And then Ryan ate a thing full of candy beans.
He did not eat that candy.
Yeah. He was obviously the father of Clint and little Ronnie Howard.
Yeah. Little Ronnie Howard.
Was in a whole bunch of different movies.
Yep. He was in still my favorite thing. He was in Ed Wood. He played the investor who wants Bride of the Monster to end with a big explosion.
Yeah.
But it ends with Dr. Voronoff falling into the pit. Not anymore.
In other sad news, John Lasseter's name was added to the list. But this is a weird one where, like, when it first came out, Rashida Jones was, like, thrown out there as, like, having left because of his like, sexual harassment, and then she came out and said, like, nah, that's not true. The letter that he wrote basically taking a 6-month leave of absence is sort of making it sound more like less like he is a predator and more like maybe he is behaving in like without necessarily realizing that he could be making
I mean,
people
in his
uncomfortable.
letter he mentions that he hugs people and kisses them, and maybe they don't like that and he needs to learn to be a better person.
Yeah. This is not one where I necessarily am like, hey, I never want to see anything John Lasseter does ever again. Now, when Rashida Jones sort of corrected the news while saying, like, hey, people are rushing too fast to, like, do some of this stuff and some of this is inaccurate, she also said that her time at Pixar made her feel like, you know, women and people of color, their voices were not necessarily listened to as much as they should be. So, you know, criticism is fair, and I'm sure that's definitely true. That company is certainly a boys' club just like everywhere else in Hollywood.
I really respect Rashida Jones, and I think she's incredibly intelligent, and she's actually one of my favorite comedians. I think she's vastly underrated from Parks and Rec. Angie Tribeca, which is an amazing show. You know, I really like her.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Hopefully everything is okay. I want John Lasseter back. He makes Disney better. So, yeah, but he should be better at making Disney better.
He has to start with the man in the mirror.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of the man in the... Nope, there's no connection.
No Michael Jackson news? Damn it.
Surprisingly, yeah. I was quite surprised to see that they're announcing they're going to make a sequel to Murder on the Orient Express, and they're even going to do it as Death on the Nile, which
is actually... That movie's holding really well. I was looking at the stats this week. I think it only dropped like 8% this week.
I sort of just felt like it was one where this was a one-time outing for Kenneth Branagh. Like, I didn't feel like this was something where he was going to go make a franchise out of this, but if it's making good money...
I think
it's not Shadow Recruit.
I think actors would like it because I haven't seen Orient Express yet, but I really want to. I mean, I've seen the other ones, but you know, it's a chance for actors to sit down and act.
Yeah, I think Death on the Nile is a really good one, and the nice thing is it doesn't have the stigma or weight of Orient Express, because Orient Express has its thing that it does that makes it special. Death on the Nile is just a good mystery. So hopefully you could just take that one and make just a good mystery and take the character that they've made and make him more interesting and add more to it. So yeah, I think it'll be a slightly awkward transition because, again, like, it ends in the last movie, they say, like, there's been a murder on the Nile and you've got to go. And I'm like, well, Death on the Nile, if I remember correctly, he's just on a boat already. Like, it's kind of exactly like Orient Express, where the murder just happens around him and he happens to be there. But, you know, maybe they'll retcon that.
It's like when Jim Gordon handed the Joker card to the Batman at the end of Batman Begins. I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Well, he does.
Yeah, he does.
So after Justice League and all the Justice League news and people being mad about Justice League and mad about Joss Whedon, and then there was a bunch of talk about there being a Zack Snyder cut, and everybody wanting to like sign a petition to get a Zack Snyder cut in theaters. Anyway, it came out this week that there's never going to be a Zack Snyder cut because basically the guy who did the special effects was like, hey, we're not going to do all the special effects for a whole different cut of the movie when the movie's already going to lose $100 million or $50 million, whatever it ends up being.
I don't know. That's a really early projection, and it made I think $70 million this or $60 million this last, and it might have legs.
I think it's going to end up being just fine, but still, I don't think they're going to put out you know what a really good way to completely fuck up your franchise is? Have two different canoned versions of a story where things happen differently.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you put out a cut that just has a little more. Mm-hmm. If you put out a cut where things are different,
it's the same argument for Rogue One. Are you gonna really put out how it originally was supposed to be?
Yeah.
And it just gets confusing, and then you don't have Darth Vader at the end, and I think that's the part people love the most.
Yeah.
For a universe that a lot of people don't seem to care about, is it really that big of a?
No, people.
Yeah, even from the sounds of it, it's like some of the things that were cut were that. One of the things that came out this week was the opening sequence that Joss Whedon wrote for Batman. Was funnier, and then the studio was like, "This is too funny. You got to cut this down." Right? Which also kind of in my mind leans me against this whole. And again, yes, I have long been a fan of Joss Whedon, but at the same time, that makes it sound like, hey, this isn't just like Joss Whedon came in and fucked this movie in half. I don't know why people have that stuck in their head. If the movie's broken, it's a little broken because of Snyder. It's a little broken because of Whedon. It's probably a lot broken because of WB. I don't understand.
I think people are holding out that there might be a version out there that's going to be better, but
yeah,
again, it's going to be tonally too different.
Well, and because that's what they've been trained to think from two of the last three, right? Mm-hmm. There were extended cuts of those first two films, or middle two films, because I always forget about Man of Steel, which is the best one. So anyway, people are sort of expecting oh, there's going to be a director's cut, and especially one where things got kerfuffled this much. You kind of expect there would be, but anyway.
But hey, Warner Brothers, if you want to make that extended cut, I'll buy it.
Oh shit!
I will pay for those special effects.
Yeah.
President of Warner Brothers, we got that one guy.
I know, isn't it weird we live in a world where a movie makes $95 million? Disappointed.
Oh, yeah.
It's really weird we live in that world now.
Yeah. Even, there was a lot of interviews this week because Denis Villeneuve,
Vanilla Ice.
This week he's finally out doing interviews and talking about that movie some, and he was talking about that movie having not done well and why he thinks that is and that kind of stuff. And he even said, he was like, it made a lot of money. Didn't make as much in the U.S. as we wanted. It just wasn't enough. Yeah. But it is one of those where that's another movie that people look at as a failure. And I'm like, it made as much in a weekend as the first film made, period. But they're expensive films,
Yeah, and I get that too. But you have to have realistic expectations. If I was Warner Brothers in not so much Justice League, but on Blade Runner, so it's a 35-year-old movie that people really didn't like the first time.
Yeah.
And it only gained its status of how great it is after the fact.
Yeah. Anybody who's realistic about their love of Blade Runner will admit that they love what Blade Runner wants to be, not what it is. They love the style of Blade Runner, and they love the ideas of Blade Runner. Yeah. Blade Runner itself, not the best film.
And too, if you go back and, if you get any cut of it now on Blu-ray, you're going to see, you can see the theatrical one.
Yeah.
I can see why it failed.
Oh, yeah.
Not that it's not a bad movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but
and it's
narratively it needs a little work.
It's a long, rated R, slow, very dramatic science fiction film that makes you think. It's not a movie people go to a second time or even tell their friends about very often, right? They think about it for a few days, but unless you're someone like me who is still telling people that they need to go see Prisoners because holy shit, have you seen Prisoners? It's really good. You don't hear people talk about those movies. You hear people talk about oh man, I went and saw that new Thor, and Thor's really awesome. A coworker of mine was trying to go over Thanksgiving to go see Thor. Every showing he went to, and these were not Thanksgiving showings. This was the Friday or Saturday after at 1 a.m. sold out, or at least sold out down to the last row, right, the front row, like crazy. Anyway, I just don't think people talk about Blade
I
Runner.
got the soundtrack finally. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So like the opening, like the first half of it's like a traditional, Marvel movie, and then as they get to Sakaar, it slowly gets to that boom, 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 boom. And I think it's like the hero's like journey. It's like track 11. I'm like, oh yeah.
There's a Sakaar theme or something.
Yeah, and it's really like the synths and stuff pick up in it. It's
That's
pretty
awesome.
great.
That's great.
Yeah.
Transitioning to happy news. Mystery Science Theater 3000: The Return is going to get a second season on Netflix. Yay!
To the shock of nobody.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
that show
know.
probably doesn't cost much to make, but yeah, I've
That's
watched
good.
it about 4 or 5 times now.
It's good.
So hopefully that means
Good on
they'll
them.
make more. Yeah,
Well, they announced it on Turkey Day.
yeah.
Did they say how many episodes they're going to commit to?
They just said it's coming back.
No,
Hmm.
probably the same-ish.
Yeah. I don't know, because the Kickstarter went over by like 3 episodes because they got so many donations. So I don't know if Netflix is going to match it or go with the original.
Yeah, there were 14. And even in this article, they're saying exactly what you're saying. Of like, there were 14. Netflix might want to go with a more traditional number like 12, but we'll see. If they go with 8, like if they go with fewer, it just means theoretically you would get a season 3 sooner, right? Like I don't know, because that's not a show where it's like, it's not Stranger Things where the more episodes, the more like characters and stuff you get. It's just the more episodes, the more movies they get to make
Yeah,
fun
it's more
of.
of like finding movies you can make fun of and
Yeah.
tell a story around the
Yeah.
movie.
It's a very
Yeah,
different TV show compared to everything else they're doing.
If it takes them 2 extra months to find those last like 2 to 4 films, and so they can get it going faster, like just give me 8 episodes every 6 months, and I'll be good.
You're right.
Does it say Jonah Ray will be back?
No, I don't think so.
Well, Jonah Ray was there
But-
with the announcement with Felicia Day.
Yeah, but he also
Yeah.
died.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll come up with something.
He's fucking dead.
Spoilers. They'll
Yes.
look. They're gonna.
1995.
Did
Hello?
he die?
I mean, I got you.
Did he die, or did he like
Crow-
I'm
Crow and Tom are gonna search the earth for a mother box.
yeah.
Just roll with me. Anyway, in other news, how many people like Master and Commander enough that they would like to see a sequel?
I guess.
Why aren't you raising your hands? God damn it.
Notice how I went up. and
Right,
then
I'm
down.
Russell Crowe. I'm on a ship full of dudes and we sail the world.
Fighting on a boat.
That movie is fucking
Paul
amazing.
Bettany, get over here.
It's pretty good, yeah.
It's great.
Pretty good.
It's so
Friends of mine
good.
just call that movie Boat Fight.
Pretty good, yeah.
So much
Copy
of
Night
that
Riddlers podcast.
But so much of that movie is not a boat fight.
We're trying to think of sequel names like Boat Fight 2, Boat Harder. What's the other one? Shit.
This
You
is
can talk
great.
about this stuff while I figure it out.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Russell Crowe went on Twitter this week and started talking about how
Oh yeah, Boat Fight 2, Ports of Kill.
Yes.
I'll see all these movies. I like movies with boats that fight. So Russell Crowe went on Twitter this week and started saying that there might be some hope out there for us to get a Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World 2, which I think
The
would be
ends
great.
of the earth.
Ooh, yeah. At World's End. Oh shit.
I was telling you earlier.
On Stranger Time. Fuck me.
I vaguely remember this film, but you're saying, as you told me, it does open itself up for a sequel. I guess,
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah. It's a movie about guys living on boats.
Yeah.
It's actually just a drama about being on a boat, and sometimes they fight.
Yep.
Like most of that movie is slow and quiet, and there's like people who want to mutiny because they're not getting enough limes. Like it's rough.
Yeah, it's Peter Weir.
yeah,
I would
like,
expect that.
There's a guy, the guy gets appendicitis and has to operate on himself. Like it's rough. Or no, he gets a bullet. Something like that. Anyway, Paul Bettany has to operate on himself. It's cool. Yeah.
I
Anyway.
just got it on Blu-ray, so I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's really good.
Yep.
And then finally, Dan Harmon is telling people he might still make a Community movie because we still need to talk about Community. So,
yep,
maybe that'll happen. In other good news, James Cameron said that Avatar 4 and 5, not 100% locks. Those are going to be made depending on whether or not 2 and 3 do $6 billion.
Is there even started shooting 2 yet?
Oh, they're constantly shooting 2. He's been shooting 2 for 6 years.
It takes Jim Cameron 10 years to make movies.
Yeah.
Every time.
You know, I keep on reading reports that Venom's like a month into production, and I don't believe it.
Was it? Oh, there was some other piece of news. Oh, this week they announced that Carnage is going to be in that film.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Who's going to play Venom?
Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's going to play Venom.
Mad Max?
Yeah, and
Bane is going to play Venom?
Yeah.
I can't see it.
And then they've got
we hate Spider-Man.
Michelle Williams is going to play his sad indie girlfriend. Yeah, it's going to be great.
The itsy bitsy spider.
Down came the rain.
I would pay so much money to just watch that 5 seconds and then it's done.
Oh, you know that's going to happen. Like, people are just going to take that trailer and redub it with the Bane voice.
Okay, so if he fights Carnage and it's R-rated,
it's not.
They said it would be.
Your second thing is already a no. Okay, I'm Sony, and I don't make as much Spider-Man money anymore. I had to give up Spider-Man in order to like get anything right.
But I also look longingly over at Fox and what they're doing.
Yeah, I can't. My biggest movie this year was Emoji Movie, and I really want to make some money.
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Their biggest
doesn't count.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's generated $9 billion for them at box office.
Is there any way that
Sony's
I'm
having
going?
the worst year.
Yeah.
If you look at that list, I'm just like blown away. Like, wow, awful.
What's
their next highest score? Oh my god.
Yeah. This is the year that started with them saying like, "Hey, we're really hoping Emoji Movie does well. Otherwise, we might sell off the film division." And now you look at this year and you go, "I don't think anyone wants to buy it."
They're like, "We'll take Spider-Man."
Right.
And
right, like
Dark
if anything,
Tower.
If anything, Marvel comes in and goes like, "We'll give you a real sweet deal on our Spider-Man stuff again,
yeah,
please."
That's right. He's in good hands.
Yeah, he's doing fine. But Venom's not.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe it'll be great.
I don't know.
Maybe it'll be great. Probably won't.
Probably won't be, but it gives me an excuse to see like I don't know. I don't like Venom very much, so I don't.
But how do you feel about Carnage?
I think Carnage is more interesting than Venom.
Really?
Yeah, because he's a serial killer that bonds with a symbiote, and he doesn't have any morals, and he kills people like randomly. I think it's more interesting than he's mean to me.
Well, you're seeing it as this is going to be like Punisher Venom, right? This is going to be Venom where like Venom is the symbiote is a backpack, and he uses machine guns and like is invulnerable or something.
If they did Agent Venom, I think it'd be better.
Yeah, I mean, when you cast Tom Hardy, that's what I assume you're doing.
Yeah, I mean.
Because if you put a giant-tongued Venom on the screen to fight a giant-tongued Carnage, I don't know how you sell that movie.
It's gonna do. The thing is,
Except the lollipops.
People love Venom. It'll make lots of money. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, well, but Spider-Man fans love Venom. Does my mom love Venom? Like the people
true Spider-Man fans don't love Venom.
Well, But my point is like. Does a mass audience who's going to go see that movie enough actually give a shit about it?
Unless they bought it on a T-shirt, I don't think they'd give a shit.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think his biggest selling point is his visuals.
Yeah.
So if he looks cool, then I think that'll be enough. I mean,
right.
I mean, I'm a passing Spider-Man fan up until recently, but like I never had much interest in him. Like I like Green Goblin more.
Well, yeah, because
like
Green
Doc
Goblin's
Ock.
awesome and Doc Ock's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those.
Heck, even Vulture, like
Vulture's awesome too.
As a kid, I actually did like Venom, but I like the story of Venom that is about like, hey, how can we prey on Peter, turn him, and like amplify the bad things about Peter, and that's a really good story. If you just take the suit away, then it's not really very interesting. Right?
I agree. I agree.
So anyway, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, did you hear that Disney is making a sequel to The Rocketeer?
They are?
Yeah, a sequel, not a reboot, a sequel to The Rocketeer.
Who's playing The Rocketeer?
I don't know. Probably not. What's his face?
Billy
Campbell. Which is too bad because the casting on the movie.
I think
is
George
perfect.
Clooney would make a good Rocketeer.
Oh man,
Isn't he as old as Billy Campbell?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, The Rocketeer doesn't have to be young.
That movie was perfectly cast. Alan Arkin as Peavy, Jennifer Connelly as Betty, as Jenny.
You know what Jennifer Connelly's best performance ever is?
Hotspot.
As Spider-Man's web assistant.
Oh, that's you, asshole.
She is good in that.
She's fine. That's best performance.
I know. I'm just picking on her because you don't.
She's in Spider-Man. You're looking funny. She's in Spider-Man: Homecoming. She plays the suit.
Oh yeah, her voice. Yeah.
She's suit lady.
Yep.
Anyway, that is news.
Karen. Blu-rays are what we buy. Blu-rays, what's dropping on
Wait.
at Best Buy?
The romantic interest of Hulk is also the voice of Spider-Man's suit?
Yes.
This doesn't...
Well, two different universes, but yes.
And Johnny Storm is also Captain America.
And he died on the Icarus 50 years from now.
No.
Yes. It's
Johnny
all
Storm
connected.
and Captain America are the same character?
Yeah.
Iron Man tried to catch the Zodiac once.
He did.
Perfect. Get me the video cassette of Spaceballs the movie.
Have you seen this?
But there's been a new breakthrough in home video marketing. Instant cassettes. They're out in stores before the movie is finished.
Okay, this one, you have to check this out sometime. I can't even... Just promise me you'll rent it.
Sir.
What?
Are either one of these any good?
I don't watch movies.
Not much too early. Prepare to fast forward.
Preparing to fast forward.
Fast forward.
Fast forwarding, sir.
Well, this is the last time I rent here.
You'll be missed.
Screw you!
No. Go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Logan Lucky is coming out on 4K this week. I'm actually excited. I didn't get a chance to see this, so I'll probably rent it.
It's a good, fun flick.
Cool. Yeah, my parents liked it enough.
It's like Ocean's 11, but with Southern people.
9 Lives is out this week, which is the film.
Oh God!
Where on Blu-ray, where Kevin Spacey plays a cat. For some reason, this was at the bottom of the list.
Well, we know he's not looking for pussy.
Oh fuck! Oh Ryan, no!
Shut the show down.
Really bad.
Now I've got to scour the earth for every podcast that's film related to see if someone else made the joke. If not, you get.
I get the credit. Of course, I get the credit. How would I know?
Man, that's a Sony film, right?
I don't know.
No, it's I think
closed
it's
it already.
Lionsgate or something.
Yeah. That's bad timing. I mean, obviously.
Well,
this movie came out. The movie came out last year. They're just re-releasing it in 4K.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Blu-ray, but yeah. Warner Archive is releasing Doc Hollywood.
I like that movie.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, I'm trying to bring us back around.
It was the first movie I saw boobs in.
Is there boobs in that movie?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
When they're out at the lake.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Man.
See Michael J. Fox's boobs?
And they are great.
You see his butt in Secret to My Success.
Ooh, cute.
Mm-hmm. And Back to the Future 3.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like Secret to My Success, too.
Tune into my spin-off podcast, Michael J. Fox's Ass.
Kino is releasing the Gene Wilder film The Woman in Red on Blu-ray, which has got Gilda Radner in it.
Yeah, I remember watching it with my grandfather. I don't remember too much about it.
It's a remake of a foreign film, and I like it enough, but he's not likable in it because he's kind of an asshole, but not a likable one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Peter Dinklage has got a little straight-to-DVD movie called Rememory.
Peter Dinklage has a little movie? Wow.
Shit.
James,
Oh,
you fucking asshole.
Not cool, man.
Boom.
I'm going to go to the little boy's room. Based on the cover, I think his head turns into a tree. So that's interesting. Rememory. Check it out. Death Dream is coming to Blu-ray. I think the subtitle is Dead of Night. I don't know. It's from Blue Underground. This is a movie where a guy who looks a lot like the Terminator chases Columbo with a revolver, and another guy chokes somebody with a stick.
As you wish.
This cover is weird, but maybe check it out. It looks like it's a book edition. Anyway.
Who makes Peter Falk jokes?
Someone who's
only Ryan.
Only me.
All right. There is a steelbook edition of Get Out coming to Best Buy.
And it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's not like Mondo art, but
it's that pop art project they've been doing.
But it's pretty cool looking. I might double dip.
I mean, you can get the 4K for like $12 now.
I know, but I already bought it. I spent $14 on the Blu-ray, but I want that steelbook because it looks so nice.
I get it.
And I
the
love
guy
that
who
movie.
did it with Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Arrow is going to release Animal Factory, a film by Steve Buscemi with Willem Dafoe and Eddie Furlong on Blu-ray this week. So I don't know. Check that out. And then very last from Shout Factory, is Misery.
It's a good one.
From Rob Reiner.
Yeah, speaking of William Goldman, he wrote that one too, right?
He did.
Yep.
See? Sometimes I know my movie stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know, like William Cockadoodie.
Yeah, you know that's based on a Stephen King novel?
It is. Isn't it weird people are better at writing Stephen King stuff than Stephen King is?
That's one of the ones where he also says that like there's times where people will change his movies and he's like, oh, that's the thing they did better, and he's like, oh yeah, The Hammer was way better than The Vice. But anyway, yep, check out Misery from Scream Factory.
Awesome.
Today.
This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw Coco. Quick disclaimer, I saw 45 minutes of Coco.
I didn't see Coco.
You
saw more than I did.
My kid decided to be an asshole.
Oh no!
And me and my wife went, and he was being kind of a butthead all day.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I was planning on taking him, but I really shouldn't take him because he's being kind of a troublemaker. And so we went there, and I got him his little like kid snack pack thing. And,
at the Alamo?
No.
Yeah.
Snack pack thing. So it had like popcorn and
like
a drink and like a little fruit snack thing. He ate it, and he was really sweet. He watched the 25-minute Frozen thing. And then about 30 minutes into it, he decided he wanted to be loud and obnoxious.
Oh.
And so I was like, fuck, man. And so I took him out, and he just wouldn't stop. And so Laura came out, and she says, do we need to go? I said, yep. But what I saw of Coco, it's beautiful. It's really well done. And, it's a Pixar movie, so you should probably see it.
Yeah.
Brad?
That's a shame. I think you missed the best part of Coco. It is a beautiful movie. I could not stand that Olaf short ahead of
Why is there a non-Pixar short in front of a Pixar movie?
Probably because Pixar was too busy to make a short.
Because Frozen is like life for 4-year-old girls, man.
Yeah, I know. It was
like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure they're just like rekindling interest in the property because it's like 3 years old now, and I'm sure Frozen 2 is like 2 years away.
2 years? Yeah. Next year or 2 years, I don't remember.
Got to keep the interest.
Oh, no, next year's Wreck-It Ralph, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's why that's there. But it's not, I mean, the animation is still gorgeous, but, it's pretty, reductive. Like, it's not
it's what it is.
Yeah, it's just
but
dumb fun.
But, yeah.
But Coco, the animation's amazing.
Yeah, I left right when the I guess I should not spoil it.
yeah.
Go ahead.
The animation's amazing. The middle part I did kind of detach from the movie a little bit when he goes to the other side and like his family's trying to chase him, like capture him. I kind of checked out a little bit during then, but the ending, even though I saw how it was going to resolve, it's still amazing. And it's great. Go see it.
Zach?
You guys should have been watching this movie like 5 minutes ago. In fact, if you're listening to this right now, shut our fucking shit off. Go watch Coco. And also, Disney needs to start a business where they sell Kleenex at the theater. Because I cried too damn hard in this movie.
Aww.
Go see it. It's one of the best films of the year.
Cool. Trailer for Coco.
Once every year, our ancestors come back to our world.
Please have a safe journey.
To see family and friends. But no living person has ever visited their world. Until now.
All right, who's in there?
I'm sorry. What's going on? Dante, wait up! You gotta stay with me, boy. We don't know where we are. I'm just dreaming.
Do you mind?
Miguel? What is going on?
Remind me how I know you?
They're your family.
We have to get you back home.
Welcome. Anything to declare? As a matter of fact, yes.
Coco tells a story of a young boy in Mexico and all he wants to do is play music, but his family forbids it because of is it spoilers to say? I guess we're in spoilers. His great grandfather is his hero, Hector de la Cruz, and he's a huge Mexican.
Well, he doesn't know that his.
But he finds out pretty quick.
His hero
doesn't he?
is his great grand. No, that's like I don't know, halfway in.
Is it halfway in?
One of their problems was it takes a long time to actually get started. Because I don't know, the first 10 or 20 minutes is him just idolizing this singer and fighting with his family over being able to play music. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he crosses over to.
Is it that? Did I see it that long? Because
it felt like that. I don't know if it was the Olaf thing, but it felt long.
It takes its time getting there.
The part I left with when I went out of the theater because Colin was being a little booger was when the one guy was forgotten and he kind of went away, and Hector,
the guy in the hammock,
and Hector played the song.
Yeah, it's like halfway.
which is a great song, by the way.
Great moment too.
Yeah.
So anyways, he idolizes this guy, and it turns out it's his great grandfather, and he wants to be in a talent contest. And they break his guitar, so he goes and steals his grandfather's guitar from his mausoleum.
Well, he steals his hero's guitar at that point. He doesn't know it's his grandfather.
Does he know it's his great-grandfather at that point?
No, he has to... Once he's over in the death side of the world...
because doesn't he see the picture, and that's his argument with his family?
Well, his main thing is he steals from the dead, period. And that's why he gets into the other side. But, yes, it's his hero's guitar. In his big...
Oh, that's right, because he says... You won't mind because he has a saying like
seize your moment.
Yeah, seize your moment.
Yeah.
Seize your guitar, more like.
Oh,
that's all I got.
But the scene where he actually crosses over to the dead is like one of the most beautifully animated things I've ever seen. It's like the city and the little
the pedal bridge.
pedals and it's stunning.
Yeah, and when he gets there, like he meets up with his family at it's like a version of a Union Station for the dead, because basically the thing of the Day of the Dead is that like they put it on a mural. The family that's
in the real world.
Yeah, in the real world they put the photo of their dead family member within a mural, and the dead go through like a security checkpoint. And if the family member in the living world hasn't put their photo up, they can't go into the world of the living for the Day of the Dead, which leads us to the character of Hector, played by Gail Bernal Garcia from Rosewater, actually.
Yeah,
cool.
He's great.
He is wonderful in the film. And
they want to cross over so that they can see the living again.
Yeah. And there's some great stuff within that depot. I know Cheech Marin is one of the clerks in the office, and that was fun to hear him in there. But when they're walking across the bridge to the land of the dead, like I saw a behind the scenes thing of it, like it's like millions of fucking lights, like within that shot, bursting through.
Did you think? And I do think this is on purpose. Do you think the little boy looked like the kid from Halloween? Like he had the red hoodie and he was dressed up as a skeleton. I thought he looked like the kid from Halloween. I know, maybe that's just an Easter egg I picked up on and probably wasn't one.
That's kind of interesting. Not that, now that I'm thinking of it. But no, like they get to like, so he goes on this journey, and like it sucks because you haven't seen the rest of the film. It's not going to really matter because I think if you've seen enough Pixar films at this point, you know that they're playing you, boy.
Yeah.
But this film is incredible because it says it's Pixar's film about death, like straight up, like about how to deal with loss, how to understand, like how like I would show this to someone if they are having trouble getting over a really like close family death because of everything it tackles.
I thought it was actually more about like don't idolize your hero like too much.
That's part of it, but that's not the central like.
The central part is
if you hold on to that memory of someone who's lost, which is a very important part of it. I know it's really hard because he hasn't seen it yet, but you got a taste of it. Like if you forget someone, they disappear into the great beyond, and that comes up again later in the film. And I feel like it's like it's the same thing like with in Star Trek 2 when Bones says he's not really dead as long as we remember him.
Yeah, I get
that. But this film kind of like extrapolates that further and in great detail. And it was so fucking moving in so many places. Now, granted, like I saw it through the perspective of like my grandfather dying a couple of years ago, and I still haven't really gotten over it because he was that close to my life. So this was like good medicine. So that's how I'm like extrapolating it from that point of view. But like I could show this to anyone who's like recently lost a family member and like kind of it's not going to depress them to the point of pure sadness. It's going to give them like happy tears, if you will. Because like I never felt like utterly depressed in this film. It keeps itself vibrant enough in spite of its dark moments. There's just a lot of like small touches that Pixar always does. In the case of like with this story's thematic elements, like the idea of De La Cruz, the greatest singer in the world, like just the kind of the way they tell his story is interesting because of like just like he's like a movie star. He's like he sells out concerts and whatnot, and he's killed by a church bell in 1942 on stage. Like it's probably like my favorite Pixar film since Up because it tackles issues that are tough, and it's as smart as Inside Out because it's like tackling an issue that is
challenging. It's
hard to sell to a mass audience. I'm glad it's getting the recognition it's getting. I think it has a better hook maybe than Inside Out does in its delivery or its selling of the premise.
Brad, did you want to say why you like the movie?
Yeah, I don't know where to backtrack to. My interpretation, and why the movie isn't like totally like 100% awesome to me, is that like halfway through I wasn't sure like where is this movie going, because it turns into like a murder mystery halfway through that you have to solve, and like that's where like I didn't feel like it was all like just about death to me. So like he it's only like the whole like Hector's thing, like that's not really like about I'm totally thrown off because Zach just went off. It's another tangent. Yeah.
Weird.
But yeah, that was it. A lot of the movie is just like, okay, like it's this one thing about him not being able to play music, and then he crosses over, and then it's about solving Hector's murder, and then those two things converge with what's the kid's name?
Miguel.
Coco.
It's a grandma.
It's like it's finding out that Bill Finger got shafted about creating Batman because Bob Kane took all the credit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the other third half of this movie, and then of course, but like none of that matters because the visuals are so impressive, and the ending is like super moving. Like even though as soon as Hector plays that song, like oh, that's gonna come back. So yeah. This is tough when like you've only seen part of it, you haven't seen it, and then and he saw it one way and I saw it a different way.
Yeah,
my apologies.
And I'm sorry if
I'm sure I'll see it this week, and then
throw you off track.
I know. I didn't mean to do that. I gotta try
you
to
had
find
a whole
time
holiday
to see like 4 movies.
Well,
lately I've been so busy.
I have good news for you, Ryan.
Yeah.
There's nothing next week.
I know. I was actually going to talk to you guys about that. I was going to see 3 billboards.
Yeah.
Outside of Ebbings, Missouri.
What was it we were talking about?
Lady Bird.
Oh, yeah.
Lady Bird.
We might go see Lady Bird, and you can go see 3 billboards, and then we'll talk about it. I'd be fine with doing an episode where we actually review 3 billboards, because I have way more to say on that film.
Mm-hmm.
Brad, you can break the tie.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I initially wanted to see Lady Bird, but now I just heard like too much. You ever had that thing where you hear too much praise for something,
good,
and you're like, ugh,
it can't be that good.
I don't want to jump on that bandwagon.
Good. Yeah,
I'll go, give something that needs my attention.
Yeah, I was hoping that the Disaster Artist would be at the Alamo, but it's not this week.
Not till the 8th.
Yeah.
Which the 8th is going to be a tougher week, just because we've got that and a couple other things we might go see.
I got an invite for an early screening of Disaster Artist, though. I have to check.
Yes.
I don't know if that's the same week it's coming out or.
I don't remember.
Did you get it too?
I didn't get one.
I remember talking. Us talking
it's a
about
victory
it.
thing. So.
Oh, victory,
yeah. Yeah, I remember us talking about it. I don't remember if I got it.
Yeah, I think I got the email today about it.
Oh, yes. Because Greg Sestero is going to be there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So is that this week?
I don't know. I have tickets to it.
Yeah, me too.
I should find out. I don't think so.
I'm supposed to bring a friend.
I think it was actually like the second.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, theoretically, between the four of us, we might be able to make that work.
Well, if it's a second, then, I mean, I don't work, and Laura doesn't work, so that's the Saturday, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Saturday. The first is Friday.
Well, yeah, I agree with you about that. I just don't remember.
But I don't think so. I just looked at what's playing at the Alamo. Well, I guess they don't.
Well,
They don't put victory screenings out.
No, it's actually the top brass party for this year. So it is the 13th.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah, I guess, Lady Bird, because I saw 3 billboards, so.
Okay.
Lady Bird.
So we'll go see
And I don't have anything more to say about 3 billboards.
It'll be a Lady Bird / 3 billboards show.
3 billboards outside Lady Bird, Missouri.
Cool. Sounds great.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Thanks for
bye,
listening.
podcast.
Yeah. Oh, my God. You said bye.
As Tommy Wiseau. Tommy Wiseau said it.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
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 Real Nerds is a Nebulous Visions multimedia production. We would also like to thank Sparks Mandrell for our music. Additional music from Ben Sounds. Thank you to Alamo Drafthouse. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics. And thank you for listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.